Now on to our featured artist this week. Now I haven't seen social there. I can speak. I haven't seen social networking response this positive in about 3 years. And I want to get up close and personal with the band Awaiting Abigail. I have James, Heather, and Abigail with me. How are you guys today?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Welcome to Real Rock Nights. Really appreciate you being here. Let everybody know, first of all, when you guys formed.
We formed in like December. I guess technically we formed in like the summertime of 2024. But we released our first like EP in December. So.
See, and that's why I phrase it that way, is because it lends. You guys have this fresh yet familiar sound. It's really freaking awesome. So that lends to the freshness of the band. But then, James, you have to be bringing that familiar kind of sound into your guitar playing, don't you feel?
Yeah, it's really funny. So, like she mentioned, we formed officially probably late summer, September, but those rhythm tracks we had for quite a while. A lot of people picked up a new hobby during COVID. That was kind of a thing, right? So some people picked up fishing, some people picked up fitness. Well, that wasn't me. I re-picked up a guitar after like a really long time of not playing. And Heather and Lori and I were local bands together when we were kids, early 20s. And I remember Heather laughing because I sent her a picture of a guitar and she was like, "Did you buy that?" or whatever. But yeah, we started the EP, as you hear it, is four of like maybe 10 songs that are just kind of hanging out on an iPad. Just back into playing guitar and started riffing around, and that's kind of what out.
And it just led to you wanting more. Is that why the band became?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to play with Heather again, and maybe really it kind of started out maybe we'd do a reunion of one of our bands when we were a lot younger, but that didn't really work out, and it was probably best that it didn't work out. People different places, out of town and stuff like that. So, yeah, I knew that I wanted to play, and so Heather started. Well, what do we do for the next pieces?
And that's that little snort I had was because yes, that is the way things form in your brain. It's like, hey, what else do we have? Let's do. I feel like doing something here. What about your fan base? Now you had that old and new sound. So are you seeing like you were talking about being in bands like 20 years ago and that stuff? Are you seeing old fans and then also new fans?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of response are those fans giving you?
They're pretty much just saying like that they're really proud of us because we're doing really good for the time that we've been performing. We've only done like 3 shows, right?
4
or 4 shows. 4 shows. So I mean, it's like we're doing pretty good for all of that. Our Instagram and Facebook and our streams are like skyrocketing pretty quickly. So they're just really proud of us, and they're excited to see what's coming next.
And that is one big thing too that I wanted to ask you. Do you guys have like a plan laid out, kind of like an outline of where the band is going to go?
Yeah, I would say we do. We have a couple of unreleased songs that we've been working on. So we're just kind of mapping out our performances so it's not like too close together, but not too far apart. So it gives just like that right amount of, I guess, like everyone getting excited about it. And then we're just preparing our music, getting in the studio soon, not too soon, but like we have a couple of songs that we're getting ready to record, and yeah, it's just going to be really cool. We have a music video coming out as well in May, so a lot of people are excited for that as well.
Cool. And can you give us what tune is it for?
It's for Falling Under.
Ooh, I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that then. That's
Yeah.
it. And Heather was telling me before you guys got on that James, you were actually the guy that got her into playing the drums.
Yeah, it goes with when we were kids. We were a bunch of band nerds. You know, we played in the school band, and I heard her telling you when I was trying to get my video working. She played the saxophone. Trumpet's my main instrument. I went on and went to college for it, and then actually taught in the public schools for a good period of time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but like we were all band nerds that kind of picked up secondary instruments. And yeah, it goes back to like being 15, 16 years old. And I was like, come on, you got to come over so we can start jamming. And we got started that way, playing in my garage. And I heard
we were horrible.
we were horrible.
Yeah.
We knew enough theory, and we knew stuff to kind of be able to advance, and went on to play all the classic venues around the Dallas-Fort Worth area that aren't really there anymore, like Joe's Garage, Dallas City Limits, the Basement. We were kind of like in that time period, like a couple hours after Cowboys from Hell broke. And
okay,
we went really heavy. I mean, we went all the way to like just screamo death metal type of stuff where, but yeah, we started hair metal. And then we went to Metallica, Slayer covers, I remember. Then we went like just full death metal. Like we had a scream vocalist and grind vocalist. And then we came out the other side in a different band that was kind of like alt grunge,
okay,
sludge type of stuff or whatever.
All right. So you explored everything, and that's why I do hear so many different elements in your music then.
Yeah, that's been one of the fun parts about it. You're talking about people's reaction is, first of all, in the reviews, they're all over the place in terms of trying to put us in a box. And I think that's pretty cool that everybody has such a hard time, putting in a box, because that does say how different or widespread it is. But I mean, to me, like Billy Joel taught us, it's all rock and roll. I mean, to me,
it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to put it, man. It's all rock and roll. And the thing about putting bands in boxes and stuff is it seems like everybody wants to classify a band as another band,
including.
And isn't it, once you get in that, what's your experience? Once you get in that, is it hard to break out?
I think before in bands that I was in, at least Heather can speak to it, 'cause she's been in quite a few more, but in bands that I was in before, we were in a box and we were comfortable in that box and fine being that way. And a lot of our friends bands, I think, they've got their sub genre, and they're like, we're a prenatal
had that laundry list of things.
That as they use that as kind of a strength. To me, I don't think that's a weakness for those groups, but I really like that it is hard to box. And I mean, our stuff is really all different, and it continues to be as we write new songs. They continue to be completely different.
That's okay, Abigail. I want to check in with you. And I want to know exactly when this music bug bit you.
So I started off when I was 4 years old. I did musical theater. So I did a lot of like Annie and Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland, all those different shows. And then when I was about, I want to say like, I started doing piano as well. I did like music lessons. I did piano, a little bit of guitar, and they wanted me to be in this like rock band, but it was like a school rock band.
Okay.
It's like outside of school, but you pay to like be in this rock band just so you learn like cover songs. You kind of learn how like a band works. So I did that. The place is called All About Music. And so, yeah, so I've been like doing music then. And then when I was 16, I started making my own music. I made pop music though. but then I kind of wanted to like get into like a professional rock band. So then we met on Bandmix. I don't know if you know that app, but
yeah.
that's how we met. And yeah, it's just been going up from there.
Just been you're sort of classically trained, but not really classically trained, because you were talking about being in those theater productions and things like that. And I can kind of hear there's a song on your EP, People Pleaser. And in there, it's your vocals are very strong.
Thank you.
And okay, James, you were talking about being put in a box, and I hate doing this. I hate comparing other bands, other singers to other singers. But Abigail, you reminded me of an early Pat Benatar on People.
That's what so many people say. I love it though. It's a compliment.
It's like, and she is classically operatically trained. So she does have that. And that's why I wanted to ask you. I wanted to find out, like, how did she actually get this rich vocal tone? How did that happen? How do you guys put a song together? Do you have a certain formula, or does it just come organically?
There's kind of two ways, and then I'll let Heather, she can make fun of me a little bit about it, but two ways. A lot of it is myself. Like I said, the EP as it sits, there's 6 other tunes that are kind of similar, but they're just me riffing around, and then I send it to Heather. Heather listens to it a little bit, then her and I jam and basically put together a song. Abby writes from a scratch track, the EP. That's how that worked. And it's funny, the EP was actually like her audition for the band, because we didn't have a vocalist, and we went into the studio and recorded those 4 tracks. But the other way that it works, so Mike, our other guitar player, like he's got a song that he kind of has beginning to end riffed out, and he'll bring it in to what I call the blender, which is throwing it in with the rest of the people. Lori, our bass player, also writes. So basically the riff is for us, and then putting it together. The other direction is we are also, I would say, to use a software programming thing, we're porting some of Abby's tunes from her pop catalog. So like she's got 2 songs, Anxiety and Funhouse, which are already released several years ago in her solo project area.
Okay.
Her website and stuff. And then we're kind of like making them metal or making them rock. We've got one of them rolled out, and we've played it publicly a couple times now, and we're about to roll out one. So a collection of people coming up with riffs, or people porting or porting her previous. But
that's interesting, man. Actually reworking some of her pop tunes.
Yeah.
She has a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out.
You almost sounded surprised for a second. She has a couple of good ones.
Well, a lot of them are really good. They're just, I don't know how they would transcend the medium, like there's one of her biggest, didn't you say one of your big influences was Ariana Grande?
Yeah, Ariana, trying to think of the other ones. Ariana, Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, types of
solo stuff. Some of those really great tunes and popular tunes that she has, they're really, really good pop tunes. It's just like those wouldn't necessarily work.
Transform, yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. Now, you were talking about the bands with the laundry list of like subgenres, and that how do you guys actually perceive yourselves? Because I know you list yourselves as like hard rock metal, but I hear punk influences in there too.
Yeah, that's that's funny you say that. Lori, our bass player, is very punk. She's, in fact, that's all that she is really. She listens to punk and likes punk a lot. I think so. How do we perceive ourselves? It's funny, of course, when people were like, well, it's got that 90s sound. I mean, that's kind of where I left off, like, so I just continued, like, the stuff, which is all the stuff on the EP, was just a continuation of, like, kind of where my ear and mind were when we left off. But my perception is I think people don't know where to put us. And like I said, I don't mind that. Comparisons are cool. Like, that doesn't at all to compare. So don't worry about that. I think it's interesting. I'll hear it. So the more you have, Shep, the better. But yeah, I would say, I don't know. I feel like we're a little grunge. I can see the punk thing too, because we got some really driving eighth note stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of snare on the downbeat and everything. And I think when you hear our new songs too, I think that it'll be even more like, well, that section sounds like punk. That section sounds like, I don't know, like a sludge core or something like that, or post. But we were definitely, the roots are in grunge and in grunge metal. Alice in Chains, Tool, that type of stuff were big influences also.
That's well, I'm looking forward to hearing some of that other stuff too, because I mean, I like that. I like to see what my bands can do. I like to experience like new sounds and that from my bands. So I'm anxious, man. I'm going to be watching you guys with bated breath, man, bated anticipation. What are we looking at for tours and live shows? I know, Abigail, you said that you've only done 4 shows so far. Are you guys, are things in the works?
Yes, we have a lot of things in the works. We have a Arizona show, and that's in September, right? It's the Hippie Coalition. It's a biker rally. There's a lot of big bands playing there. That's going to be really fun. And then we are also playing at Whiskey A Go Go. That's like our biggest one. And we're playing with LA Guns. It's a Saturday night. So it's going to be awesome. And we're playing at Cicada, the Granada. I think that's how you say it. And then I don't know if we're allowed to say another one, but we are doing a 4-day tour. But I don't know if we're allowed to say that yet.
Don't let out any secrets or anything.
No leaking.
One that's quite let out of the bag yet. That's going to be really big in September. It's unfortunately we can't say it, but when we can let it out, you'll be like, oh, okay, that was a big one. But yeah, probably the biggest thing that we've got going right now is just trying to not overplay. We just played last 2 nights, so we 4 shows, but 2 of them were in the past 48 hours. And
damn.
Yeah, one of them was locally here at a club with some iconic, legendary, long-term local bands that were really good. And then yesterday it was very cold, and so that kind of limited attendance. But it's normally just a huge event downtown Dallas. It's an arts festival, so you have all your art displays, but then there's 4 stages set up all along the festival, and so we did that yesterday. So we're trying to keep it around once a month, no more than once a month. And the studio thing kind of keeps getting pushed back because we probably will have another 4 songs, but we keep getting kind of these really want to turn down.
Okay, I kind of see that, and you guys, for the most part, are a new band, and you can't turn down opportunities. You can't be like, well, no, we have this stuff to record, so we can't do your festival or anything like that. So I totally understand that. The thing with Texas now seems like lately, probably in the last year or so, every other band that I mentioned that is debuting on the charts is out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And
That's some good local bands.
And I was not aware that it was that great. And then also bands that I've been working with for years are actually relocating to Texas because the music scene is so good right there. And I didn't know. I thought it was all like the Chicago area and stuff where that's where I was. So it was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to get closer to Texas.
Yeah, I met a band that came from actually Alaska, and they moved down to Fort Worth, Texas, because there was nothing in Alaska. So they came here to start their musical career, which I thought was kind of neat because Pantera was from here. That was why they came here.
That was
And I
why they
thought,
came
yeah,
down.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. Let's see. One thing I want to look at is your merch store. Like what you have right now. It's like it is early on in that stuff. Right now, you have like the things that you would think of, T-shirts, music, links to music, and stuff like that. Do you have any surprises coming in the future for fans?
I'm gonna take that, James.
Well, we do have. So we're working with a new group that has quite a few different items. What we usually do is, as you probably have heard from other bands, the merch world is pretty tricky because you've got your print on demand type of stuff, which is in the shop there. And then you've got your hands-on stuff that really you want to have with you when you're at these shows, right? Like, so typically the t-shirts and everything are on both outlets, but like personalized items like drum heads and drumsticks, signed posters and stuff like that is stuff that you have there at your shows only. So we do have some new stuff coming. I wouldn't say necessarily it's any surprise where they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. What some of our band friends that are really good friends with ours have like hot sauces and stuff like that. That's in an area that we're not really innovating in right now. It's like different types of merch other than the personalized stuff. Like we have a drum head that Heather broke during the filming of our music video for Bad Mind. And it's funny because like our first show, we could have sold our shoes. It was crazy. People were buying everything, And our second and third shows, not so much, just mainly t-shirts and stuff. So, but no, I wouldn't say any surprises. That's an area we're learning in. And you go back to the, like, just talking about our age, not Abby's, of course, but our age. All of that's been a steep learning curve for us, especially the social medias. And it's like stuff that we wouldn't normally be messing around with. We're not really big social media people, but I've kind of been forced to become that so that we can get our stuff out there,
That's one thing too. I want to let you know I'm going to do. You are the feature artist this week on Real Rock Nights. So on the Real Rock Nights website, I'm not only going to put up like the band picture and stuff like that, but also I'm going to put up a place where people can link off to your link tree.
Nice.
So they can get to all your stuff. And like I said at the beginning of the interview too, I haven't had social response from a band this strong for years. I mean, it's been, I think, maybe 3.5 years now since I had Plush on. And just, it's like, I have a category on the flagship station called the Incubator. And is basically a test category. But with marketing and that stuff, we named it Incubator, and that's what we use. And the bands that people show interest in, or even bands that listeners like and send me, I will throw in there and give them like maybe 3 spins or something. And then people can vote on the songs in real time. And then we push the Incubator hours so they can go there and dude, your song Bad Mind, they pushed it out of the Incubator in 3 days. You're in regular rotation on the flagship station.
Wow.
I'm like, I was like,
Attached.
and then they push it out, they push it up into my beat category, and then they actually got it into the sub powers. So like you're right underneath the big boys.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome, man, to watch all of a sudden 5-Figure Death Punch or Hailstorm play, and then Awaiting Abigail.
That's so cool.
It is pretty awesome, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on. And people have to hear Bad Mind. If they have not, they have to experience this. So what do you say we just shut up and we play the song?
Yes.
Good.
James, Heather, Abigail, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. This, my friends, is the tune Bad Mind from the band that you want to hear more from all the time, Awaiting Abigail. It's right here, right now on Real Rock Nights.
Click for the latest video right here, right now. And don't forget to like and subscribe.